What is going on, guys? FallenRedZeo here, and today we're doing some more figures. This time we have a kind of a new set, the DC Signature Collection, where we have Aquaman and Ocean Master. So I do believe these may be a little bit older, not exactly sure, but we just recently saw in a store the Aquaman at Think Geek, so my brother picked it up then, and then once he got that one, he wanted the Ocean Master, so he got that one too. So like I said, these may be older, not exactly sure, or they could be new. I don't know much about it, but they're just some new figures, kind of like the DC Multiverse, but I think a little bit more detailed, or more highly detailed, or I don't know, I think they're more expensive and just a little bit different, just a higher quality, I should say. So we'll go ahead and look at them. Again, we don't have any builder figures or anything with these sets, they're just the figures themselves, so we can look more at the actual figures and everything. But let's go ahead and get into it. We'll look at each one of them and just kind of see what changes and stuff they made from the original characters and everything. So let's look at them. And so here's the Aquaman first, and so this is a little bit different version of Aquaman than what we normally see. This is based off from like a comic series that we'll learn a little bit more of why he looks the way he does, but it's just a different take on Aquaman, and this has become kind of like a fan favorite because this is a more cooler version of Aquaman than what, you know, was originally in the older comic styles and stuff. But we'll start off first here, so you can see the figure overall. It looks pretty cool. Like, I think this figure looks really cool, and I like the look and aesthetic of it, and it's definitely a cool version of Aquaman. But we'll take a look here at first. So we got its head, and of course you can see its hair, so it's got the water type effect, so where he's floating in the water or swimming or something, so his hair is being all pushed back, and he's got the blonde hair and everything as Aquaman normally does, but it's just the longer style now that went into this one. And then he also has the beard, so you can see his face there with the beard. Of course, with the blonde hair, he's got the blonde eyebrows, blue eyes, which you can kind of see in there, and then of course his sort of angry looking face. To me, it looks like he's angry or definitely determined on a mission or something. Then go down, you can see, really start to see the changes of his body and stuff. So as you can see, he's got this metal armor that he wears on his arm. Again, I don't know what this is for. I tried looking it up to see why he had this metal armor, and I couldn't really figure it out, but I know all I could see is that he started wearing it after he got his hand, I want to say cut off, but it didn't get cut off. So we'll read about it in the off the box, because I do want to read that stuff just to give you more information. But he did lose his hand when a villain took it and stuck his took control of his powers, or whatever, to talk to fish and stuff. So Aquaman wasn't able to control it, and then the guy took his hand and stuck it into a pool of piranha, and the piranhas ate his hand off. So Aquaman lost his hand, and he ended up getting it, or replacing it with a hook hand, as you can see here. So it looks really cool. Looks in all different ways and forms. I feel it's upside down though, which is kind of annoying me, and you can't twist it or anything, so that's kind of annoying, but it still looks really cool. So yeah, once that happened, he then started wearing this armor on his arm. Again, I don't know if it's supposed to do something or what exactly it is, but he's wearing that. But it looks really cool that he's got this all metal, so he's got the straps, of course, to help hold it on and everything, and it looks cool. And then he is shirtless beyond that, and so of course he's Aquaman, so in water, so he doesn't really need a shirt or anything. Of course, the classic one always wore the orangish gold color shirt, but now he doesn't have that, so he's got to look all cool, show off all his muscles and stuff. But then we go to his pants, which are kind of pretty similar to Aquaman pants. So he's got the gold belt with the A on it, the Atlantis logo there, and then we've got the green pants. And as you can see on the side here, so like the complete side of the pants, they do have the scale like design, and then it is all a gold painted, so it looks all fish scaly, but then the rest is all just a really dark green. And then he has the fins on the back, which of course are help for swimming and everything, but they had the fins always on the back of his calves there, and then of course just the feet in the same green color, so he's the same solid green all the way down except for the sides of the legs. So now we'll look at some movements here and stuff. So his head, so he can obviously twist his head pretty much almost all the way around. Just there we go. Now it goes all the way around there. Doesn't really nod much. It just twists side to side, but it doesn't really move much at all there. Shoulder movements, we got the shoulder. So they do have nice shoulder joints and everything. So you can see it does like twist all the way around, and then it does have quite a bit of movement. Like outwards and stuff, so it can move a lot there. It does have the bicep twist that can twist all the way around. The elbow joint, which does have some limitation, he can only move his hands in so far to there, and then back obviously so far, so it does have limitations compared to like the double elbow joints where you can move the hands in a little closer, so you can only bend them in so far and everything, which is kind of disappointing, but it still works really well. And then like I said on this one, his hands Like on this one can twist and everything, but on the hook hand it does not twist, and like I said, I feel it's upside down. The hook should be more like that or completely twisted out. I don't know how to get it. But yeah, so that kind of is annoying, but I just have to go with what it is. Then it has the ab crunch, as you can see there, which again doesn't move unless it's just stiff. Yeah, it just doesn't move very much. It does, but not much at all. Not much room at all. Twist at the waist there, which the A looks like it's kind of getting in the way on his belt, so it kind of limits his movement of twist there. Then he has the hips, which are kind of cool, so he's got this double joint hip or whatever, so it can move back and forth, as much as that there. His arm's in the way. And then he has this double joint, so then instead of the joint inside moving inwards or like a ball or something move around, he has a second joint that allows his legs to move out, which looks kind of funny and like that because it's got this cutout and everything. But I like when it's together, it looks more leg-like. It looks a lot more together and stuff compared to like the two rounded joints or whatever on the legs. It does look natural once they're closed and everything. He does have a twist right above his knee, so at the bottom of the thigh there, a single knee joint, again with limitations of how far you can move. And then it does have the foot joints that can move forward and back pretty far, but it does not twist side to side at all. So as I mentioned, it is like a Marvel Legends, but as you can see there, Marvel Legends have a lot more movement. Especially just on a basic figure, they have more movements with the double elbows and knees, and then the twisting of the foot and everything as well. So they do, Marvel Legends do, or Marvel Legends, DC Multiverse do have more movements going on, but overall, I think figure design is what's supposed to be with these, the signature collection, and then they come in like versions that you don't really always get in the DC Multiverse forms and everything. But let me read the box. So his real name is obviously Arthur Curry, but his even more realer name is Prince Orin. So it says, found abandoned, Prince Orin of Atlantis was raised in the ways of the surface world and renamed by lighthouse keeper Arthur Curry. In adulthood, he became Aquaman and a member of the Justice League. Things looked dire when the villain Charybdis destroyed his left hand, but the aquatic Avenger rose above the loss and fastened a harpoon to it in its place, giving him another tool to fight villainy and patrol the seven seas. So there's kind of like a little bit backstory on the hook hand and stuff as well. But overall, the figure, it looks overall really nice. I like the design with the head and stuff, and then just the overall look, it looks really cool. But just for posability and stuff, you have a lot more limitations, but I don't think that really matters too much for us and our purposes and everything, but it still looks really cool. So that's it for the Aquaman. And now we've got Ocean Master, which again, this is a cool looking figure and a different design from what I've normally seen, but based on what I've looked up and everything, this is kind of like the classic look for Ocean Master. But again, I've never seen him look like this, so it's new to me. But here we'll take a look. So again, different than what you see in the movie, the Aquaman movie, which of course is out by now, which we really enjoy and stuff. So if you want to see more about these characters, you can see the Aquaman movie if you haven't already. But this is Ocean Master, and it is Arthur or Aquaman's half brother. And so here we've got to look at his face, and so he's got these giant wings, or the seahorse type design head things. I don't know what you'd call them, I call them fins or something coming off his head, but I like how it's around his eyes and you can see his red eyes there, and then these fans coming off him in the gold and everything, and he's got the fin on top of his head as well, and he's got a blue helmet covering that, and you can see part of his face there that he is a humanoid figure and everything. He's not just some fish person or something. And then as you can see, he's got this giant cape, which I usually haven't seen him wear a cape, but he does have this big giant cape with a big collar that goes way up above his head, but it looks evil and menacing and everything. It's got nice claps there and everything. Then we've got his costume, which is like a dark bluish gray color. He does have this red manta, so it kind of fits in with Black Manta, but a red manta like design there on his chest, gold gauntlets with some fins coming off of them as well, again for swimming purposes and design and everything. He's got a nice metallic purple belt going on there. It looks just pretty plain, just circles and stuff forming into a belt, probably seashells or something, again carrying on with that blue gray design all the way down to his feet. And there is some shadowing spray on here, so in different parts there's darkening around joints and stuff to make it look darker, and shadows and everything. So we'll take a look at movements here. So movements, his head can twist a little, but again, because of his giant fins on his head and the cloak here things. The collar, it kind of limits the movements, but he can twist side to side. And again, very little movement up and down for that. The cape can, it's really attached, and I don't know if it'll come off. Like it looks like it's probably glued up in there, like that thing's stuck in his back and glued on, which is nice because that way it doesn't fall off easily or loosen or anything. It just does have some movement around the head there. Then we've got the shoulder joint. Again, it's pretty similar to what Aquaman's was, so it does have the movement that can spin. Well, it doesn't really spin, so this one's weird. It just only moves, but it does have limitations because it's got the little like shoulder there, or shelf type design there, that kind of stops it from moving up and everything. Then of course the arm for moving it down farther, but it doesn't spin, which is weird. I figured this one does, so maybe this one's just like locked up or something. That may be what's going on with that side, but as you can see, it does twist and move around and everything, and that's what it should be, but it's kind of locked. It does have the bicep twister there, so it can, you know, move all the way around there. Single elbow joint, which again has the limited movement, only moves to a 90-degree angle with that. And then of course the hand does twist all the way around and everything for that. Then we've got the same on both sides, obviously, but this shoulder again has the movement where it can spin, where this one's kind of stuck in there. It can only move out. This one we've got the ab crunch, and again it's just very little movement. It's a little bit more than Aquaman had. It can move back farther and forward and stuff, but yeah, so it does have the ab crunch there, twist at the waist there, right above the belt. Again, the same sort of hip joint, so again you can see the joint that allows it to move back and forth, but again the cape obviously gets in the way, but the joint that lets it move back and forth, and then the additional joint that kicks out to the side. Seems like it has a little bit less move because Aquaman's leg looked like he went up higher to the side, but you can see that sword joint. Again, I like it because when it's in just standing pose, it looks, you know, like more human shape and everything. Again, the twist right above the knee at the bottom of the thigh, single knee joint, and then the same foot movement there. Again, doesn't twist side to side or anything, just the single knee movement joint, that he comes with and everything. And for his weapon, which unfortunately we have some issue with this, it does come with his version of a trident, so it's like a big circle staff type thing. But as you can see, the paint is flaking off of it. Like as soon as some of the paint stuck into the box, and then some is flaked off. I don't know if you can see, I got the box here. When I set it down, some of the paint there is fleck of it is on the box there. So unfortunately, that's kind of an issue. You can kind of see it bubbling up. That's gonna just like flake off more, so that's kind of an issue going on with this. This gold is not on the thing very well, but obviously you can just take it and slide it into his hand, and now he's got a trident to rule his parts of the ocean and stuff. But now we'll look at his box, and so his name is Ocean Master. Obviously his real name is Orm, which again, if you saw the Aquaman movie, you would know all that already. But it says sibling rivalries are never easy, especially when the sibling in question is the founding member is a founding member of the Justice League. Throughout his career, Ocean Master's deepest desire has been to steal the throne of Atlantis from his half-brother Aquaman. Although this never-ending struggle has taken a toll on the Ocean Master's sanity, he eventually succeeds in capturing a number of Atlantean outcroppings. Unfortunately, the powerful trident that enabled this feat came with a heavy price tag: his soul. So you can see that trident there is, you know, obviously stolen, so part of his soul and everything. And then on the box, the trident looks much cooler. If I bring it in, like the design of it looks cooler with all the sharper points, and this one's kind of flattened down, much more curved points and everything. So I think on the box it looks much cooler, but the figure overall is still cool. Like I said, I like the movie version better, like that type of design that's been in the comics and stuff, but that's kind of just what we get. And so that's going to be it for this DC Signature collection of Aquaman and Ocean Master. Again, different versions of the figures than what we've normally seen recently with DC Multiverse and everything. And again, I really like the look of these, and, you know, taken right from the comics and put into figure form. It looks really cool, and I like the design overall. Again, not as much movements as DC Multiverse get you, and I do believe these are a little more expensive, but I think the details and stuff are a little more high quality. Maybe it's hard to tell without, you know, having like the same versions to compare them and everything next to each other, but I still really like these a lot. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video, and of course subscribe to see new figures every single Friday. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.